We will start the recording. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first November meeting for the CNCF TAG Environmental Sustainability. My name is Max Körbecher, one of the co-chairs, and very glad to host for today. As usual, as this is a CNCF meeting, it falls under the code of conduct, which boils down to be nice, awesome, and fantastic to each other. We assume we will have today a little bit more silent meeting, just because there are some public holidays also going on in most of part of Europe. So either some people had free yesterday or today. Yeah, therefore we'll see how long we really will need. Is there anyone who would love to take the notes? It would be a fantastic help. If not, then also good, because I hope we will not have too much things to discuss for today, so then we can put at least the summary down. Cool. Do we have anyone new on the meeting?
Yes, it's my first time.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm good.
How do you find your way to us?
That would be from Twitter.
Perfect. So social media works. Awesome. Nice. You're welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Feel free to add yourself also to the agenda. Again, I've dropped the link into the chat so that you can also go down there and give it a try. Do we have anyone else who joined the first time for this meeting? If not, then we can move on directly for the first topics for the working groups. I'm not sure if we have anyone who's representing comms, so I would give it to Ross for giving an update on green reviews.
Thanks, Max. To give an update on the green reviews working group, we've created a cluster manually with Kathy to verify we can create the Equinix cluster and Kepler's working. And now there's two kind of technical tasks working on the automation side. I'm looking at using Flux for how we can install Prometheus, Kepler, the tooling we need to support the pipeline. I'm working with Nikki on that. And then to Banco, who's also on the call, I think we would like to work on how we can automate the creation of the cluster. And we want to use infrastructure as code for that. And at the moment, we're kind of verifying the design, how we think we want to do that. We're thinking we'd like to use kubeadm with Ansible to provision Kubernetes. And then we need to provision the Equinix nodes as well. And then in parallel to this, we're looking at how we can design the pipeline. We're kind of investigating whether we can use a self-hosted GitHub runner to use GitHub Actions, or whether we can use Flux for that. So yeah, while these first technical tasks are happening, in parallel, we're working on the design. One sort of housekeeping point is we're planning to cancel the meeting for next week, just because a lot of people will be at KubeCon. But in the meantime, we'll keep working, asynchronously in the project channel and also in the issues. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Sounds good. Is there anything currently needed which we can add in addition, or need some more helping hands, need some more input or feedback?
Yes, yeah. There's a couple of issues I can put in the chat. There's the Flux issue where we're going to design the GitOps part, and also the infrastructure as code issue. Let me just add those to the chat. But yeah, feedback on both of those, would be very welcome, because we're at the design stage on both of those.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's great. And also makes sense to skip the meeting for the next week. Looking forward to join the upcoming meeting then, I guess, in the end of November, or actually the 4th week of November. Cool. Awesome.
Yes,
maybe
that's what
shortly.
we thought. We thought a lot of people, will be away, but we can keep working on things asynchronously, and we'll pick it up in the meeting at the end of the month.
This one and that one. Okay.
Yes, I think also, Banco, you're on the call as well. So if you want to, talk about the infrastructure code issue as well, that'd be, you'd be very welcome to do that as well. Otherwise, we will keep discussing it in the issue.
No, I think it's fine, but it's helpful. Maybe we can find someone who also can take a look or share his experience on it.
Yes, that'd be great. Getting more feedback there will be very helpful.
Yeah, it was nice to create the designs. So one point is the flux part is not sure. Like what we are going to do with that.
Yes, the flux part is in the first issue, like issue 5. And so we're going to start using Flux to manage the components we know we need to install, so Prometheus and Kepler. We also need Cilium to have CNI as well. But so yeah, in that first issue number 5, that's where we're working on the Flux design.
Sure, got it.
Then maybe for those who are new to the whole situation, so the thing is like with this working group, we're working on automation for the setup for testing open source tools in regards of their power consumption and then calculated up to their CO2 footprint in some way. This is happening outside of our regular CNCF TAG repository for the environmental sustainability, but there's working folders which you can find. And we have one dedicated green reviews tooling repository on GitHub where the work, the discussion, and issues happening. So link this all up so you can have a look on it. And if you have ideas, thoughts, maybe you find some solutions to the open issues, I think the group will be more than happy to get your help. And as Ross said already, you can also jump into the asynchronous communication in Slack and team up with the folks.
Just one more doubt, like as I have pointed out that we could use Ansible and Terraform kind of thing. So that error code, what is its status now? Like, are we going to use two tools or single tool will work?
Yes, I think that's one of the issues we need to decide on that issue. Ideally, I think a single tool might be nice. But we were thinking to use Ansible for the Kubernetes part, and then use probably OpenTofu rather than Terraform due to licensing to create their Connect servers. But I think we can discuss that more kind of asynchronously, and also in the next project meeting as well that we've got at the end of the month. Because probably we don't want to go too deep into the design, like in this call.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, it's always the difficulty to find the right cut, where to stop with the one tooling and then to take over the next one. All right, cool. Any questions towards the work group? All silent. Is there anyone from working group comms? Let's see, so it also could be always mistaken in it. Okay, if not, then not. Can shortly jump over to the open items list to just see how it's going. Most of you will be aware that the cloud native Sustainability Week is still going on in some way, so there's still a few meetups happening around the globe from time to time, but most of them are already conducted. We counted at least 21 different events. I think huge success for this community and for having this distributed effort around the globe. We are also still collecting feedback. We also try to catch up with everyone who did the presentation and who organized an event, to see how we could do this better in the future, and to get there also like maybe a little bit more streamlined process and not only have last minute deliverables. This falls also all in the attendee survey. This is screen review, activities, best practices. All right, I think that's all related to the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. We're currently also collecting talks for the KubeCon in North America and going to add them to the website. So if you are aware of sustainability talks, environmental sustainability talks, then feel free to point them out here, and we can add them later all to the agenda. I think we found most of them, but maybe there will be some changes. Maybe we skipped something or something was not obvious. And also we need to always be a little bit careful, because in the tech contributor strategy, they also use the word sustainability, but in regards of like how sustainable is a project and how we can keep contributors within the open source project. So that's sometimes a little bit confusing. And for the other tasks, we're currently looking a little bit into which of the other ideas which we had slowly to kick off. Either this is about Kubernetes best practices and scheduling topic, which got asked a few times, but also one of the other one which is open is about the don't see it right now, which is about this majority model. But this could get slowly a little bit complicated. There's the Cartographos working group, which is going to release now on the KubeCon the version 3, I think, for the cloud native majority model. And one of our ideas is to build for ourselves a majority model that fits into this wording, into the way it's structured from the workgroup Cartographos. So it's more like an extension, and it makes sense to use both. At the same time, there's a group of people writing a book about the green coding thing, and they have also released a green coding sustainability majority model. So these things we need to link up and have a look if it still makes sense to develop our own way of thinking of it. I think in some way it makes sense to do this, because if you just keep purely the cloud native goggles on, this perspective is a little bit more streamlined and focused on the cloud native infrastructure side, rather than on like how to design code and how to design systems. But yeah, these are things which we will tackle in the next few weeks, I guess. Beside that, is there any questions from your side or open items you would like to discuss?
Oh, so I just wanted to ask what you would recommend as sort of like a good starting point to like just get acquainted with what's happening, like in the space.
Very good question. So first, join all of our channels. It could be a little bit too much, but a lot of communication really happens in Slack and in different Slack groups which we have. Also, for some current and upcoming events, you can find some information on our little website. We're going to put something together for NA. I hope this will land soon. And then we have already a few things in place. So either we have the 2 working groups, working group comms is more about the, as it says, communications. This includes a little bit like the social media, but also the communication with other open source foundations, like the Green Software Foundation, for example, and to shape the collaboration, because we know that we are not alone in this space, right? We have at least 5 organizations which do something similar, but always on their very specific layer or perspective. So we want to engage with them more and to ensure that we do not do the double work. It doesn't make sense to do 2 or 3 times the same things. So there's a lot of help needed, but if this is nothing which you're interested, then we have on the other hand side the Green Review Working Group. You can also find more in our GitHub repository. And here we link out to the Green Reviews Working Group. The name might be confusing, but in the first hand, it's what Ross gave us an overview for, is about the implementation of measuring the open source projects in regards of their energy consumption, and provide a unified way. So if you're way more technical, then this is a good starting point for you to have maybe discuss with the folks about it, like, hey, what's going on? Have a look on the issues which currently are there. Maybe you have worked on something similar in the past and you can give in your 5 cents, some stuff like this. And then, as I said, sadly, next week we will not have a working group meeting due to the KubeCon, but then it will be in the end of November. So there you can also join. So we have in every first and third week of the month our meeting as of today for the whole tech. And then in every second and fourth week, we have it for the working group Green Reviews, right? So that actually every Wednesday you can find a good connection spot. If this is already going too deep down, then you can find under the issues a couple of ideas and topics which we have worked on in the past. You need to be a little bit careful. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on, and ideally orient on the help wanted tag, for example, to get a first idea, or you jump to the very beginning of the issues, because there we have a couple of tracking proposal tickets and suggestions. These are ideas which we have very long time put together, and some of them just really wait to get brought up again, right? So because the working group and the tech have moved along, and we had a lot of other stuff which we put in between, like the landscape document or the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. Now both things are settled. We have kicked off the Green Review Working Group, means that we have enough space again to start one of the next little projects here. So you can take a look. As I said, as I talked earlier about, there's a proposal which I've written about the sustainability maturity model, which is oriented on the Cartografos maturity model. There will be something coming up in the next week from the Cartografos group. I also have linked already the green soft maturity metrics from this book, for example. So there's plenty of opportunities to jump right into the topics. But yeah, if you have ideas and thoughts to push it forward, then you're more than welcome. If you would like to have more soft start and keep moving along with already working groups, then the working groups would be a good starting point to have a first touch point, look up what they're working on, and then get things moving. But you can also see, like we have on the blog posts, open items where we want to release something new. And then we also need to update here and there our repository, work a little bit on the automation. So there's tons of little possibilities also to give them the first 5 cents to bring the group a little bit forward. Saying that, how you also can help, if you know any interesting project which optimize, for example, the scheduling on the Kubernetes, or which helps to reduce the energy footprint or whatsoever, then you can also get in touch with them and ask them if they would like to present with us. So we're very open to hear what others are doing, and if there are open source projects which are relevant, to see what they are currently working on. I hope this answers your question a little bit.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Perfect. Cool. With that said, issues we had a short look at. Always welcome to go into and help solve the current open items, and then with the things like the majority model. These are good ones where you can really get your thoughts into if you have any other idea what you can do, or if you like the idea, want to push it more forward. Alrighty. With that, I think we currently do not have any other topics. Let me shortly check if we have anything from last week which we need to look at. No action items, no open items. Looks good and perfect. Nice. So in this case, if there's no other topic from your side, then we can call it already a day, and can use the rest of the time sneaking around on the open issues and maybe drop in some good thoughts and where you would like to participate. With that, thank you very much, and I wish you a great week. And then if you go to KubeCon North America, I wish you also a very, very great KubeCon.
Thank you.
Thank you.